Well, great. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. And first of all, my name is Jeff Letts. I'm the CEO of Genistar, and just, have really been excited about this series that we're doing on how to combat the cost of living crisis. And hopefully you've already been able to watch our first two sessions. And if you haven't, you can always go on to YouTube or onto our website where they will be hosted, and you'll be able to just click on them and it'll take you right to the YouTube link for each one. And tonight you're in for a real treat. You're going to be hearing from some of our top people as well as an expert in the mortgage industry. And, mortgages are just, you look at all that, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of products out there. So how do you make the right decision? And then once you get one, or even before you get one, how do you make sure that you can have that date where someday you have what I call a mortgage burning ceremony, where you kind of go, I'm done, I own the house. It's not, the bank and me that own it together. So you're in for a real treat, and we're here to help serve you. If you're listening to this, whether it's live or recording, anything that we can do to help you to achieve financial freedom. Our tagline under Genistar is financial freedom for all. And really, financial freedom should be for every single person, regardless of your age, your color, your sex, your religion. I mean, none of that stuff should matter. And here's the good news, is that you can achieve financial freedom when you are empowered to really understand how money works. And so this series we're continuing tonight. We took a little break. Sadly, as all of you know, the Queen passed away in her funeral. So in her honor and out of respect, we did not do a session last week, but we've got 3 sessions to go tonight and then 2 more. And we'll tell you about those as we wrap this up. So first, I'm going to turn it over to one of our senior vice presidents at Genistar, over to Alan Palmer. And then I believe, Alan, you're the one emceeing tonight, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And hopefully I've got, I just need some permission to share screen if possible.
Okay, excellent.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our session this evening. And let me see my window, make sure it's opened. And my name is Alan Palmer. I've been with Genistar between part-time and full-time, actually 12 years, which seems like yesterday when I joined the business. And what we're going to go through tonight is something I'm really passionate about, and I love helping people with this aspect of what we do. And we've got an amazing speaker in Taj Kang from one of our key partners. And just to double check, Jeff, I've got the normal screen up and not the presenter screen, right?
Yes, I see the entire screen.
Fantastic. So we're going to take a look at this from a few different angles tonight. And it's how to manage your mortgage by myself and Taj Kang. And I've been working with Taj now for a long time, and it's been a phenomenal journey. Helped lots of clients in lots of different areas. And whatever you do, guys, get your notepads and your pens ready. Take lots of notes, because it's going to be an opportunity for you to ask some questions through this process as well. Now, over the next 3 weeks, we'll be covering the following topics: how to manage your mortgage, which is today, obviously, how to manage your health, and how to manage your mental health also. So with regards to number 2, it's regard your financial health. But today we're concentrating on how to manage your mortgage. And if we take a little look, I've got Taj here who's going to come and join us in a second. And hopefully you can unmute yourself, Taj. Are you with me?
Indeed.
Fantastic. So welcome on tonight, Taj. I'm not going to steal too much of your time because it's valuable. And I'm really looking forward to this bit, actually, and giving us some information on how people can plan, not just for maybe a mortgage now, or maybe for later, or maybe even a product transfer, whatever it may be. I'm sure there's going to be lots of little tips that you can give us to help us plan a little bit better. So without further ado, over to you, Taj.
Thank you very much, Alan. So I am now going to try to share my screen, and perhaps you could let me know that you could see the right slide. Hopefully you can see me in presentation mode.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you for that introduction, Alan. So it was a very nice introduction, but just to let you know, what I'm trying to do today is just to show you a little bit about what's going on in mortgage world right now, how that impacts on the biggest costs that many people have going out, and what you can do to just manage things in a bit of a smarter way to steal our name. So unless you've been living in a cave somewhere over the last week or two, you'll know that mortgage rates are on the rise. So I just want to talk to you about what that actually means to you guys. So first of all, like I've said, interest rates are on the up. We've enjoyed a period of record low interest rates. I want to talk to you in a moment, and I'll show you a graphic around how that interest rate has moved from a period of long-term stability. What's actually happened is people have been used to having very low mortgage rates. And unless you're on a fixed rate today, you will have noticed that that is no longer the case. Rates have been moving upwards, which leaves you exposed to increases in your monthly mortgage payments. Interest rates are increasing very fast. They're actually increasing with mortgage lenders faster than the Bank of England are putting the national interest rate up. Although the Bank of England are trying to catch up now, if you've seen the news today. So mortgage rates are being increased quicker by the banks, and they're actually rising nationally. I think that's a really, really important point to remember, because even when the Bank of England base rate stayed still for a couple of weeks, for a month, which is the case, lenders don't stand still. They're constantly repricing their rates. If your mortgage deal is one that has been going up recently, it means you're on a variable rate mortgage. Variable simply means it can move. It's not a static fixed deal. It means you are going to be exposed. So you need to do something given what's going on with the interest rates. So during 2022, so this year alone, there were between 1.3 and 1.5 million mortgages that were coming to an end. So it's not just about being on a variable deal and having to do something right now. There are also other deals that are coming to an end this year and going into next. There are many, many people out there who will be coming off the stability of a fixed rate. The chances are you are likely to face a bit of a shock based on where your mortgage rates have been to where they will be when you change your deal. But acting can mean that you soften the blow a little bit. So if you've got a mortgage, just to demonstrate the point, that's say £100,000 owing to the bank, and you're on a variable deal, and you've been on that variable deal for a year, your mortgage payment will have gone up £93 a month, or £1,116 over the year. And for a £200,000 mortgage, the impact is double. So the pain is double in terms of that increase. £2,800 increase over the year. So if you act quickly, if you act now, you can actually take some of that pain out of the situation by ensuring that that variable deal goes into a fixed deal, and you can actually avoid any future rate impact on your mortgage. So I just want to share with you this table. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on for quite a long period of time, up until December 21, and it did not move for quite a long period of time. Now, since then, we've had steady increases. So from June the 16th this year, it was up at 1.25%, and then it went up to 1.75%, and since then it's gone up again. So this table is already out of date, and this table was only produced last week. So last Thursday, 4 days ago, we had another increase. The base rate is now 2.25%. And if you've seen the news today, you'll also see that the Bank of England are considering meeting to put another emergency increase in the base rate. And they've actually said, literally within the last hour, that they are not going to hesitate to increase rates yet further. So this at the moment could get much, much worse. In fact, it already has got worse, but it could get much worse in terms of how the interest rates are climbing. Now, the rate is one thing, it doesn't mean a lot, it's a number. What I want you to actually concentrate on is the real impact here. So if you look at the boxes that are yellow, they will show you what different size loans increase by on a monthly basis when the Bank of England base rate has gone up those last 2 points in time, June and August. So from June 16, your mortgage payment would have increased by £64 a month if you had a £100,000 mortgage, £160 a month if you had a £250,000 mortgage, and if you've got a larger mortgage, you're more exposed, so £256 a month as an increase in your mortgage payment if you had a £400,000 loan. Now, that didn't stand still for very long. A couple of months later, you would have been looking at a £93 increase from the previous low and £233 a month on a £250,000 loan. And again, more pain, unfortunately, if you're on a £400,000 mortgage. Now, what this demonstrates is these numbers go out of date very quickly because, like I said, in September, we've had the month following August in this table, we've had another increase of another 0.5%, and we could have another one in early October or late September, and then another one in October as well. So it's a bit of a scary time in terms of how quickly mortgage rates are increasing. So it's very sort of doom and gloom, but I do want to tell you what choices you can make proactively to try to head off some of the damage that this could do to your personal finances. So the first thing is, in an environment where the interest rates are increasing steadily month on month, you don't have to wait around until your fixed deal expires. If you're on a fixed rate right now, it's going to be expiring in 6 months. You need to be looking at this now. You can actually secure a deal early, and that's really, really important. There are people who are acting. We are really, really busy at the moment with people who are really worried, rightly so, about what may happen to their mortgage payments. And they're still in a fixed deal at the moment. But what's actually happening right now is due to the unprecedented demand that is coming into banks as they try to process applications, lenders are actually withdrawing their best deals because they can't cope with the amount of new work that's coming in. So sitting back and waiting for the situation to get worse could mean that you're faced with fewer choices in terms of the new mortgage deals you can access. Just today, Skipton, Building Society and Virgin Money, the two lenders who had the best 5-year fixed rates in the market today, which is by far the most popular deal that people are going for, they withdrew all of their products. So not just the 5-year fixed deals, they withdrew everything because they've been absolutely swamped with new work. This is happening on a regular basis. Now that Skipton and Virgin Money have pulled out, there's going to be lenders like Barclays, lenders like Nationwide, who are now at the top of that list of the best 5-year fixed deals. They will get swamped, they will pull their deals, and so on and so on. That's what's been happening over the last couple of months. It's happening again this week. So the recommendation you will get from us is going to be that you review your mortgage with an independent mortgage advisor who's got whole of market access 6 months before your current deal expires. And that is really, really important because if you plan now, even if there are deals that are being pulled all the time, what you can do as soon as these deals come back, we can act on it for you and make sure that you can actually get a decent deal secured. It's really, really important that you do actually do that review in the first place, just to see what you can qualify for and which banks would look at your situation based on your incomes. So once the application has gone in for a new mortgage offer at the moment with most banks is taking anything from sort of 3 to 6 weeks, depending on the bank. Once they've actually produced that mortgage offer for you, it will be valid for 6 months. If during that 6 months, as is predicted, the rates continue to increase, you've actually protected yourself from those further increases, and you're just waiting for your current fixed rate to expire. When it expires, the new one will take over, and you won't feel the pain of the variable rate. That is the plan. We get asked a lot where interest rates are going to settle down and stabilise. And if you'd have spoken with me last week, I would have said maybe 4% is where the base rate will stop and stabilise. It's educated guesswork. Nobody really knows. Today, I'm thinking that's probably more like 5%, given what's going on with the markets and the pound. And next week it could be different again. But I think the common thing here, guys, is expert predictions, in the markets, as city experts and economists, whenever they try to predict where the base rate may end up, it's going up every time. They're not saying it's going backwards, it's going up, unfortunately. There's a little bit of pain to come yet. And if we go as high as 5%, we are 3.25% to go yet from 2.75% where we are yet. There's quite a long way to go in terms of increases, unfortunately. So like I said, securing today's rates rather than waiting for the pain to increase is definitely the smart thing to do. If you wait around, all you're going to do is get a more expensive deal, and there's absolutely no point doing that whatsoever. So act today if you have a mortgage. Otherwise, you will be exposed and you will end up facing a much higher payment. Now, some of the conversations we have been having with certain people is whether it's worth paying the penalty on your current mortgage and securing a longer term deal now before the rates get really, really high. And in some cases, that can be the right thing to do. But again, we would only advise you to do that based on your circumstances and your attitudes and where you think the rates are going to go, and largely around how nervous you are about what could happen if you wait for your deal to come to an end. What I'm talking about here, guys, is not those people who are within 6 months of the end of their mortgage deal. I'm talking about people who may be a year or 2 years away from the end of their deal. We are having conversations with people where they're really, really worried that if they wait for another year or two, when they come off their deal, the rates can be unaffordably high. So they're thinking about just taking a hit, paying a penalty of a few thousand, and refinancing on a deal that is affordable today. Again, we don't recommend you do this until you've taken some proper advice, and we would have to do the numbers and work through whether we think it's best advice. And if it is the best advice, then we can certainly explore that option for you as well. Common theme in all of this is seek advice early. Hopefully that's come through loud and clear. The savings that you can achieve by planning early means you basically secure that position today rather than waiting for months to the pain point. So we get asked questions about mortgages all the time. So what I would like to do is take a poll. I've got 3 questions for you guys. It'd be interesting just to get your view on certain things that relate to some of our most frequently asked questions. So I've not done this before, so hopefully I do this correct. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds, so it's going to be quick responses, please. So the first question is, what rate can I get? Very common one that we get. Is it I can get the best rate in the market, and Smarter can confirm that? Or this will depend on individual circumstances? Smarter can confirm. And my friend said they've got the best rate on the market, and you can get that one as well. Give you another few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow, overwhelmingly into the middle question. So it's absolutely correct. It is based on individual circumstances. So no 2 situations are the same. It will depend on things like your incomes, your credit history, how much equity you've got in your property, how much deposit you've got if you're buying. So everything is done based on individual circumstances. So 85% of you, wow, are paying attention today. That's good. I like it. Okay. So in order to get to the next question, sorry, I'm sort of ad-libbing this. Question 2, I'm assuming. Here we go. So next question, here we go. Can I get a mortgage with bad credit history? Is it number 1? Absolutely, anything is possible. Number 2, if I take out lots of credit cards to raise my score, this will fix the problem. Or number 3, this will depend on individual circumstances. Smarter can advise. So I'll give you a few seconds to see who can give us the correct answers. Give you another few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 96% of you. Sounds like you were listening to the answers to the first one here. because it is exactly the same situation. It does depend on individual circumstances. There are certain scenarios where it becomes very, very difficult to get mortgage for somebody who's got really, really bad credit, but the circumstances do dictate everything. So my third and final question, which I'm going to launch very shortly. So eyes peeled, please. I can afford to pay more on the mortgage payment based on my current rent. So does that mean I can borrow more? Is the answer yes? This can be worked based on proof of rent payments. Is it lenders consider increasing interest rates over the term of the mortgage? Or your landlord can vouch for your monthly payments as long as you kept up with them. So, a bit trickier this one, a bit of thinking required. So I'll give you a few more seconds to answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll close off there. So the right answer is the middle one. So again, some very knowledgeable people watching this today. Lenders consider interest rates over the term of the mortgage. So the rent doesn't actually have a massive bearing in this. The lender will always be looking at what they call a stress test on your existing mortgage payment. So even though your mortgage payment is low today, it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Lenders are always a bit more conservative. So that's the end of the poll. And in terms of next steps from here, what I would advise you to do is to speak with Genistar if you do want to have a consultation with us. And thank you all for listening and taking part in the poll. Much appreciated. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen now and pass back to Alan.
Thank you, Taj. That was fantastic. Some great questions there as well. And if you could do me a favor and click on the 3 dots and make me the host, that'd be brilliant. That'll be really, really helpful. But yes, so I'm just going to share my screen again. Let me just go back here. Fantastic. So, covered all those. There we go. So, oh, took me back to the current slide. So let me just click through these ones. Bear with me, please. Fantastic. So what I'm going to cover now is how to pay less on your mortgage. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. And everybody knows that, you know, the easiest way is to overpay every single month. But let's take a look here at this example with a family. Let's say the mortgage here at 195,000. Okay. So you can see there's 1,186 every single month they're paying for that mortgage. And they get 20 years left on that mortgage. So keep an eye on that 20 years, okay? Also, let's say this family is got a personal debt of 20,000. So this is key because every single month they're paying £500 for that debt to service it. So every single month they've got £1,686 going out between mortgage and debts. So what we show families to do is to basically consolidate the mortgage and the debt together on a new mortgage, okay? Refinance now at 215,950 and extend the mortgage from 20 years to 25. Now, I hear what most of you are saying here. You're thinking, well, why would I do that? Why would I add 5 years to my mortgage? I've just paid 5 years off it, for example, okay? But what happens is when you extend that mortgage, you lower the monthly payment that you have, which means that should make available £552 every month. Now, I know that most of you can't answer on here, but what do you think most families do when they find an extra £552 in the bank every month? They go shopping or go on holiday or spend it in something else, right? So what we show families to do is reallocate that 552 and do something smart with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to split it. And you can see here, we're going to take £450 of that money that you've got left over and apply it towards the mortgage. It's going to be paid off in 15 years instead of the original 20. Take the other £102 a month that you got left over and invest it at 8% for 15 years. You've got a nice little nest egg of 35,000. So mortgage paid off, debt paid off, and 35 grand saved just by changing how you pay. Now, let's just say you take it one step further. Let's say you take it, you're mortgage free and you're debt free. So you take the 35,000 lump sum and the 1,686 now available each month and invest it for a further 17 years. The total given at 8% return is just under 865,000. So a small change to your money can make a massive difference in the long run. And that's a huge amount of money. Even if you said, well, look, you know what, once my mortgage and my debt's paid off, I'm happy to go with that. That's great. But if you take it that one step further, it can make a huge difference for retirement. Now, one of the ways you can look at this also is something called fortnightly payments. And Jeff talked about this in the beginning. What we look at is normally in a mortgage, you get 12 monthly payments. So to gain more value for your money, we believe in the concept of mortgage acceleration. So if the homeowner makes fortnightly payments, the principal can be paid off in full in just over 20 years. So to break this down into simple terms, let's say your mortgage is roughly, let's say it's £1,000 a month, just for the numbers, okay? And you've got 12 payment periods in the year. So if I said to you, look, I'd like you to make a half payment, that's £500 every 2 weeks. How many payment periods would you have in the year now instead of 12? Most of you would say 24, right? Well, ask yourself the question, how many weeks are there in a year? 52. So divide that by 2 is 26. So what happens is when you make that fortnightly payment, it reduces the balance you have to pay and the interest you have to pay, because your interest is charged daily on your mortgage. So you can see here, if the homeowner makes fortnightly payments, the principal you paid off in just over 20 years. So pay off your mortgage 4 years early and save yourself almost £19,000 in interest. Now, this is based on a mortgage of £225,000. If your mortgage is bigger, potentially you could save a lot more. I sat with a family at the weekend, and through a little bit of debt stacking, which you've seen previously, and with the bi-weekly payments, they shaved about 16 years off their debt freedom date, which is phenomenal. So if this is something that kind of stands out to you, make sure you reach out to the person that invited you today, because this can be life-changing. So let's say even at 4 years, you finish your mortgage 4 years early, and you take that money that you were previously paying on your mortgage and you reinvest that at 8%, you're going to have a healthy little lump sum after that period of time as well. So you've got two options. You can carry on paying your mortgage the way you are right now, or you can decide, look, I want to investigate this. I want to see how I can pay fortnightly, and see how I can save myself up to 20 grand in interest and knock a few years off at the same time. So let's take a little bit of a poll here. Let me see. Is Taj still the host? Can someone tell me? I can't see the poll just yet. Are you still host, Taj?
I think Amy is now host.
Okay. So Amy, maybe you can launch the poll for me.
And she just made you the host.
Okay, I can see it. Fantastic. So let me go to my question, which is question number 4. So here we go with question 4. So which elements of tonight's session are of most interest to you? Would you like to know more about how I can arrange a mortgage? I would like to know more about mortgage consolidation. I would like to know more about the bi-weekly mortgage payments. And I would like to know more about the free financial game plan, or all of the above. So I'll count it down from 5. Give you a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll give it a couple more seconds. There we go. Fantastic. Some great responses in there, which is really, really good to see. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to end that poll, and I'm going to pop in with the next question. What is the next question? So let me just go through. Let me just close that one. Let me have a little look. So let's take a look at the 3 income opportunities with Genistar. Why am I talking about this? Well, if you like Taj just touched on, if you're looking at your mortgage and you're thinking my mortgage is going to increase, maybe you could earn through referring through us, and that's what we call an introducer. So if you appreciate the value of an additional income stream, but simply time is an issue, speak to the person that invited you tonight and see what the options are for you. And, maybe that £200 to £300 extra every month could help you, have that payment for the mortgage, or use it for an overpayment, or use it to get rid of debt, whichever stage it may be. But if you've got 68 hours spare per week, that's maybe 1 to 2 evenings a week, part-time, you keep your full-time job to pay your bills, then you could make an extra 1 to 2 grand a month, part-time, helping families, doing what we do and learning a new skill along the way. So the other side, which is for the serious people, if you'd like to be a business owner, maybe you're fed up with your job like I was, maybe you're looking for change, you're looking for something different for the future, become a business owner like many of us have done, and obviously create a better financial situation for yourself going forward. Now, let me just take a step back. I'm going to launch this poll again, and I'm just going to ask, which of these areas are of most interest to you in getting more information about, choose multiple answers if you wish. I'm interested in the financial game plan, which is free. I'm interested to know more about additional income. I'm interested in a career change or a business opportunity, or all of the above. Please feel free. I'll give it another 10 seconds or so. And you can also speak to the person that invited you today, because, why not skill yourself? For many of you that don't know, I used to be an executive chef by trade, and I've been working with Genistar part-time for 8 years, and I jumped 3 years ago into full-time. And this is just giving me a whole new lease of life. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. I close the poll. Thank you. There's a large number of people, good 50%, Jeff, can you believe, that are interested in all of the above, which is really, really good to hear. So what I want to touch on quickly, and Jeff, you're going to wrap up for us shortly, I believe, that we're going to talk about in the next session, the relationship between money and health. Jeff, do you want to take it from here?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Alan. I might need you to still run the slides for me, but thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And I hope that, I know that these little 30-minute sessions, they're kind of power packed. It's almost like getting a drink out of a fire hydrant. But, that's why you want to get together with the person that invited you, so they can give you more education, get a copy of a book called Your Journey to Financial Freedom. Actually goes into more depth and more detail. So session 4, which you do need to register for, again, you can take a picture of the QR code, the relationship between money and health. And this is tips for managing your money and your health, both your physical and your mental health, in uncertain times. And then session 5 on the 10th of October, when we'll be wrapping this up, is really how to manage your mental health. So I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and register for session 4. We'll also be sending out a follow-up email with this recording, as well as the registration for session number 4. Okay, Alan, is that it, or is there another slide? Okay, great. Alan, I just wanted, if we can unshare the screen, and I just wanted to just kind of wrap this up just for a moment. First of all, thank you to all of you that have joined us here this evening. As you can tell, it's really about education. And I just wanted to share with you, as Alan and Taj, thank you, Taj, for going through everything with us. You're such a pro. The guy knows his stuff about mortgages, whether it's a buy-to-let, a commercial mortgage. He even has, experts that he deals with in the area of halal mortgages, Sharia mortgages. And so he, guys, you're talking to a real expert here. If you get an opportunity and you are interested in looking at your mortgage, whether it's for your personal or for buy-to-lets. So 2 things I wanted to cover. Number 1 was, Alan, as you were going through and you had that 8% up there, I was trying to put myself in the mindset of just someone listening in and go, where the heck can you get 8%? Okay. And, or certainly where's the potential to be able to get 8%? Because at the bank, I love these teaser rates. You get 3% on 50 pounds a month, or 5% on 1,000 pounds. But where can you really go and learn how to invest your money? Now, on the 29th of October, and the reason why I mentioned this to you is because I don't want you to get upset and say, well, why didn't you tell me about it? We are actually launching a brand new investment program that we're introducing to all of our representatives, okay? We have a school that day on the 29th of October. There is a cost for it. It's a day delegate rate that the hotel charges, including, a continental breakfast and lunch, and coffee breaks and all that. But talk to the person that brought you here. And that day, we're going to be launching and going into the investment business. And guys, I'm telling you that 8% is a very realistic rate of return over the long haul. But why not get educated about how to do that personally and take a look at your own personal investing? I'm a big believer that an educated consumer is someone that makes the right decisions. And that's why we believe so much in financial education. So I just wanted to mention that. The second thing I wanted to mention was, I saw this presentation longer than some of you are old, 4 decades ago. So I was 24 years old when I saw this, and I was like, wow, we go through 14,000 hours of education, and nobody ever taught me this stuff in high school and university. And even, guys, I was in the financial services business for 5 years prior to getting into the financial education business. And I never heard the rule of 72. I had never heard about fortnightly half payments. And so I wanted to get the education. That's why I decided, 4 decades ago to do this. And I was doing this part-time while I was working my full-time job. My first year, part-time, working 2 evenings a week, learning this business, I made $28,000. That was in the US. Okay. I live here now in the UK and have for 20 years. But that 28,000, guys, helped Margot and I, my wife and I, pay off all of our credit cards, pay off all of our loan notes, our car loans. We had good credit. We're paying the bills, but we didn't have a clue how to really go ahead and accumulate wealth. I did one of these financial game plans that Alan was talking about, and that your Genistar representative can get you, guys, totally free of charge. I kid you not, it's free. Go to a financial planner, an IFA, they're going to charge you £1,000 to £2,000 typically. Okay. And you might go, well, why would you guys do that? Well, because if we can help you and we offer you fantastic products, then we get paid from the provider for doing that. It's much like going to a travel agent and they get paid a fee or a commission for that service. And so I joined the business so I could get the education, make a couple thousand a month part-time, and it enabled Margot and I to become totally debt-free, other than the mortgage on our house and a mortgage that we had on a commercial building. And it was just a few years after that, literally about 4 years, we paid all of that off. And other than mortgages on investment properties and a personal home, we've never been back in debt. So I want to encourage you guys to book an appointment with the person who brought you here. Go get a financial game plan. Come on to one of our business overviews and take a look. And thank you so much for joining us tonight on the third part of the series, How to Combat the Financial Crisis. Hopefully you've enjoyed tonight. If you have, get signed back up. Please feel free to invite your family, your friends onto it. And thanks again for joining us this evening. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Thanks again for joining us. Bye-bye.